It's 2021. Do you know, I nearly said 2121. It's 2021. Hi, I'm Ray with another podcast episode. Now, last week I talked about New Year's Eve, if you remember. Something occurred to me. What about Christmas presents? Especially Christmas jumper. What happens to all these Christmas jumpers that people get? I mean, you can't wear them in the summer. Well, I suppose you could, but you look a bit daft. And also, it's rather hot in the summer. I suppose Christmas jumpers come out once a year, don't they? Just for the Christmas period. But what about all the other presents, all these weird socks with Santa Claus on them and holly and berries on them? I suppose they will stay in the drawer as well, don't they, till next winter? Anyway, we are now on the right side of Christmas and the right side of New Year's Eve for the spring. Yes, the daffodils will soon be popping up out of the ground, showing their little heads, normally through the snow. When I say normally through the snow, is it true that when we were kids, back in the 50s and 60s, there was more snow then? The summers were better, they were hotter, they were longer. The winters were colder, frostier, freezing, snow. Is it true, or is it just some kind of false memory? When I look back, I know I've mentioned this before, when I look back to the summers, I remember a summer holiday breaking up from school, over the woods, the sun was always out. It must have rained, mustn't it? It must have rained at some stage. And the winter of 62, 63 in the UK, do you remember that? Everything ground to a halt. There was snow everywhere, it just didn't stop snowing. And when it did stop, the big thaw didn't come, did it? For ages. And when it did, then everyone was flooded. I remember that. I was, 11, 12 years old, something like that. Kids loved it, of course, but I think in the end, even the children were getting a bit fed up with it. You couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything. Everywhere was just freezing cold with all this white stuff everywhere outside. So I think even the kids got a little bit bored with it in the end. I know the adults did. There was no kicking a football round in the street or playing marbles or anything like that. Talking of football, a friend of mine, he said to me, we were in our 30s, he said, let's get fit. And I said, what do you mean, let's get fit? He said, come on, we were in the pub at the time. He said, let's go. I mean, there weren't gyms then. Well, if there weren't many. I don't think we had any in this area. I mean, now there's a gym in every town, isn't there? Almost on every street corner. But back then, he said, let's get fit. We'll go to the sports centre. That's what they were called, isn't it? Things like that, sports centre. Anyway, so I bought this tracksuit thing. Cost a lot of money. I bought all the gear, the trainers and the rest of it. And we went to the sports centre and there was this course that he'd set up. I don't know what we paid for it, but quite a bit of money, what with my tracksuit as well. So the first evening we went there, there's this chap introducing himself and we all introduced ourselves. And I was thinking, I don't want to be here. I said to my friend, this isn't me at all. I don't want to do all this. And he said, no. He said, look around. And I'm looking around. Yeah, what? He said, well, the girls. Oh, yeah. I realised, I thought, I knew him of old. I thought, yeah, that's why we're here. I should have guessed. Nothing to do with keeping fit. It was to look at the girls. But we did actually, we went for we didn't do the whole course, but we went for quite a few sessions. Now that was in the winter, so it was something to do, rather than just sit in the pub all the time. And we both actually, I was going to say got off with, but that's a dreadful expression, isn't it? We both met a couple of these girls. And, we started going out with them, which was quite nice. The trouble is that ended in disaster because they were keep fit fanatics. And that's all they wanted to do. Let's go jogging. Let's go running. Do you remember everyone went jogging in those days? Especially after Christmas. You put on a few pounds, we'd go jogging. Of course, that's the other thing. I know I mentioned New Year's resolutions last week. But that was the big thing, wasn't it? I'm giving up smoking. I'm giving up drinking. I'm going to lose weight. I'm giving up this, I'm giving up that. Of course, none of it lasted 5 minutes. I smoked. I gave up smoking. I'd smoked for 42 years. How about that? I stopped 12 years ago. 42 years I smoked. Luckily, I got away with it lightly. I tried all this 1st of January business. That didn't work. You give up fags by about 9 or 10 in the morning, gasping for a cigarette. The way I did it was go to the doctor, and I got some tablets called Champix. Champix? Yeah, Champix. They were amazing. I might do a whole episode on that. If any of you smoke, and you want to stop, let me know. Email me, and I'll do a podcast all about that. An episode all about giving up smoking, because nothing works. It's no good cutting down. Everyone cuts down or stops after Christmas, as I said, for a few hours, and they're back on the cigarettes again. The trouble is, after Christmas, there's all this food left, isn't there? There's mince pies, there's cakes, there's biscuits, there's sausage rolls. There's so much left. Cheese. In our fridge now, we've got, all these different cheeses. I don't mind cheese, but we've got so much of it. It's going to end up, we'll probably give it away or do something. Can't put it in the bin because it's decent food. But there's so much. We've got a whole huge packet, a big family pack of crisps that were cheap. And, of course, I'm trying to lose a bit of weight now, so we've given that away. I don't know, all this food. It's funny, isn't it? People go shopping and they stock up on everything. They buy all this stuff. And it's only basically for Christmas Day and Boxing Day. And then that's it. It's all over. So people spend a fortune, stock up on all this food. And all it does is make you fat. Well, it makes me fat. Talking of shopping, I was in the supermarket the other day. Actually, I wasn't. That's a lie. It must have been a year ago. Gee, when was I last? Where are we? We're now January. When was I last in a supermarket? Gee, I think it is a year. Probably last January or February. I've not been there. What I was going to say was Easter eggs. Is that? No, I wasn't going to say that, was I? Oh, I've said it now. Easter eggs. They will appear now in the supermarkets, won't they? All ready for Easter. As soon as they've cleared out the Christmas stuff, they'll have cheap mince pies and cheap boxes of dates. What are those dates? Eat me. Do you remember the dates? They were around in the 50s when I was a kid. Everyone bought dates for Christmas. No one liked them. Actually, I do. And people are still buying those boxes of Eat Me dates. Just the same. But everything gets sold off cheap after Christmas, doesn't it, in the supermarket? All the Christmas stock that's left over. And then before you know it, there's Easter eggs. I don't know when Easter is, do you? I can't ever remember. I think Easter changes, doesn't it? So there's Easter eggs appearing, and we haven't even got the spring here yet. We're still in winter. Here in the UK, from, 2022, I think, they're not going to be doing these buy two, get one free sort of things on junk food. It's okay on vegetables. You can buy 2 cabbages and get one free, but you can't buy 2 boxes of chocolates and sweets and junk food, all that stuff. They're trying to battle with obesity. Why do you say that? No, I'm not obese. Actually, I am. Because I looked up, some months ago, I checked on this chart thing online, and it said, if you're over a certain weight, you're obese. So that makes me obese. But I'm not, am I? Mind you, the doctor said I've got COPD, and I haven't. I said that. I went round there this morning. I had to have a blood test, because I was verging on pre-diabetic. Is that right? Yes, about a year ago. I was verging on pre-diabetic. So I had a letter, go round there for another blood test. So I went this morning, actually, and the nurse was taking the blood. She said, how are you doing with your diet? And I said, well, I've only just started in January. She said, no, a year ago you were given a leaflet, weren't you? And I said, oh, that's right, yeah. She said, about, diabetes and how to eat properly. She said, haven't you been doing it? I said, no, I must have put the leaflet in the drawer somewhere. I don't know where it is. Anyway, I'm going to get the results in a few days' time, so I hope that's all right. But I've got to lose some weight. Did I say buy 2, get 1 free? That's incorrect, isn't it? It's buy 1, get 1 free, isn't it? That's what they're going to stop. They're going to ban all that in 2022 in the UK. Of course, we're out of the EU now, aren't we? So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what that's all about, what it's going to change. Keep hearing so many different things on the telly and on the radio. Everything's going to be a disaster. One lot are saying, oh, goodness me, we're going to be rich. We're going to be a rich country. We're going to trade with the world. Another lot are saying, oh, we're doomed. That was Dad's army, wasn't it? Not Captain Marin, the Scottish chap. We're doomed. I don't think we're doomed. Well, I hope we're not doomed. We shall see. A Christmas jumper's doomed. That's in the drawer already. Someone gave me a T-shirt for Christmas. We do these Secret Santa things, so I don't know who it's from. There's a big picture of Boris Johnson on the front, and it says, I love Boris. And I was forced to wear it. I had to wear it. Not that anyone was here, we were on our own. But we do these Zoom, is it, or whatever it is, FaceTime things. So everyone had a laugh about my Boris Johnson T-shirt. So there we are, after Christmas, after New Year's Eve. It's all a big, I don't know, not a letdown, is it so much? The trouble is there's such a build-up to Christmas. Weeks and weeks on the radio, they're saying, only 60 days to Christmas. I mean, who wants to? We're not interested, are we? When it's in the summer, telling us how many days to Christmas. I don't know why they do that on the radio. These DJs should shut up and just play the records. Well, we don't need DJs. My brother-in-law once said, I like the banter. I don't. I don't like all this inane drivel going on between each record. Just play the records. Possibly introduce them. But I don't want to hear all this about how many shopping days till Christmas. Someone said the other day, when was it, before Christmas? Someone was saying 370-something shopping days to Christmas. We hadn't even got to this one. Good grief. Obviously, the Christmas just gone, 2020. It was very different because of COVID. Obviously, it's going to be, isn't it, with all the lockdown. We're in Tier 4, which is the highest tier, isn't it? Everywhere's closed. Normally on New Year's Eve, I say we stay up. We don't really stay up. We go to bed. I watch fireworks out of the bedroom window from my bed because I can't stay up until gone midnight. And the thing is, I would if there was something worthwhile on the television. But there's not. Do you know, I looked through the TV guide thing over Christmas. It's all repeats. It's all stuff that we've seen again and again and again. The only thing I don't mind watching again is Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. All the different versions. There's so many different versions of it. And we did watch 2 or 3 of those. But the rest of it, I mean, I don't know whether Morecambe and Wise was on, but that was the thing, wasn't it? Every Christmas, Morecambe and Wise. They were brilliant back in the day, but I don't think we want to see it now. And the Christmas music. What was that Noddy Holder? You know, where he shouts out, "It's Christmas," that one, Noddy Holder singing. All the old Mud, isn't it? Boom, 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 boom. Well, it'd be lonely this Christmas. Yeah, all these they're good records, but not every single Christmas. We hear the same stuff. Are people bringing out new ones? I'm not sure. I don't think I've heard any new ones. It's all the old stuff. Repeats on the telly and repeats on the old Christmas songs on the radio. Perhaps I'm just a miserable old devil. I don't know. I mean, do you agree with me? Or is it just me? Or is it just me being a miserable thing? I mustn't swear on here, must I? That could be another New Year's resolution. Don't swear. The evenings are supposed to be getting lighter already. Shortest day was the 21st of December, wasn't it? 2020. The longest night, isn't it? They call it. I don't know what they call it. It's just cold and horrible. So, as I said earlier, we've got the spring to look forward to. Daffodils, crocus popping up. That's going to be good. The lighter evenings, the warmer weather. Really looking forward to this year now that it's 21. I'm really looking for... I nearly said 21 again. Do you know, I said to someone the other day, someone was saying about, wouldn't it be nice to come back in 100 years and have a look to see what it's all like? And I said, how about coming back in 1,000,000 years? Imagine that, 1,000,000 years from now. I mean, there won't be houses, there won't be cars, there probably won't be people. But I wonder, I don't know, you can't begin to imagine, can you, what it will be like in 1,000,000 years? Do you think there'll be people? I don't know, email me and let me know. No, don't let me know, because you might say there won't be any people. Imagine if there were no people, if everyone disappeared to another planet or something. What would this planet Earth be like? All the animals would take over. The jungles would take over. It would be fantastic. I'd love to come back and see that. Everything that we've done over thousands of years would be gone. It'd be rotted or decaying in the ground. And the animals would be saying, well, thank goodness that lot have gone, those humans. And the fish in the sea and the dolphins, they'd all be saying, well, good riddance. I don't know. We're already visiting other planets. Well, not planets, are we? The moon. And we've been to... Can you hear that noise? I don't know. That's a clock we've got. Yeah, we bought a clock. Talking of animals, on the hour, every hour, there's a picture, where it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, there's a picture of an animal, like a cow, a donkey, a chicken. And on the hour, every hour, it makes animal noises. The trouble is, now there goes the grandmother clock. We've got clocks all over the house. The trouble is, the proper animal clocks are about £80. Ours was £8 from China. So you're not quite sure what animal it is. Most of the animal noises sound like a sort of strangled cat. One or two aren't too bad, but like the horse you can just about recognise. But most of them sound like a cat that's being strangled or something dreadful. But it's good fun. Anyone that visits, well, not that they do these days, but anyone that used to visit used to laugh at the clock. That was 4 o'clock, by the way. That's what all the squeaking and chiming was about. And I'm looking at the lamppost out in the street. I do this every year after Christmas, after New Year's Eve. I look at the time, see how dark it is, and look at the lamppost, because they come on when it gets sort of dusk. And they normally come on about 4:15 in the afternoon, that sort of local time. And what happens is, then it's 4:30, then it's 5 o'clock, then they're not coming on till 6 o'clock. I don't know why I'm wishing away my life. I do this, I wish away every winter. Of course, when summer gets here, before you know it, it's bonfire night, and people are saying, oh, only so many days to Christmas. Good grief, stone the crows. So just going back to the kind of theme of this episode, after Christmas. Oh, by the way, who was it? Someone emailed me. I forget the name. Oh, that's a shame. I wrote it down somewhere and I've lost it. Someone said, love the podcast episodes, but can you make them longer? And I thought, well, I don't know. I bore people for long enough as it is. I've often wondered how many, say you start off, say 300 start off listening. How many are listening by the end? Perhaps 3 out of 300. I don't know. I don't know how many listen anyway. So going back to my friend who said, let's get fit. He had another crazy idea. He said, let's go to a sauna. Again, we were in the pub. Let's go to a sauna. And I said, what now? He said, yeah, we've only got to grab a towel from home and we'll go to this sauna. Now, I'd never been to one. I said, oh, all right, I suppose so. So we went to this place. It was dreadful. There was this old man in there, completely naked. Talk about stone the crows. And I thought, I mustn't look. You know, you try to avert your gaze. There's a couple of young women in there, and you try not to look at where do you look? Of course, they're looking at me, and there's my friend and I. We're both standing there naked. I thought, I'm not doing this again. And that was the other thing. He then, later on, said, this is years later, let's go to the proper gym. We'll go to the gym. So I thought, all right, we'll give that a try. I don't know why I keep going to gyms and saunas. It doesn't do anything for me. So in the changing room, this is when we got there. We're sort of changing from our outdoor clothes into kind of gym stuff, shorts and T-shirt and whatever. This old bloke walked in. He must have been in his 80s, completely naked. And, I mean, naked men aren't not the best of sort of sights anyway, are they, even when they're young? Well, I don't know, perhaps young women think they are, but I certainly don't. But this old chap, oh dear. I looked at him and I looked at my friend and I said, is this normal? Oh, yeah, he said, yeah, some of them, they like to show off. I said, what do you mean show off? Oh, they stroll around naked. 80-year-old men strolling around naked. It's no wonder, actually, that I don't like gyms and sports centres and saunas. Mind you, the sports centre was different because of those young ladies, young girls. They were quite attractive. Anyway, I digress. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, after Christmas. We've still got all our decorations up. Is it the 12th night, I think, you're meant to take the tree down and all the decorations? I'm not waiting until the 12th night. I think we're going to do that any day now. Probably, I don't know, Sunday, whatever. And of course, even if you only have a few decorations, doesn't the place look bare? It looks kind of naked when you take down the cards and the tree. You walk into the lounge the next day and it just looks naked, like something's missing. Well, like walking into the sauna or into the changing room at the gym. Good grief. From all the emails I get, I know that people love hearing about the UK, about Britain, how it was in the old days and how it is now. Had some emails from, was it Australia, America, and Brazil, chap in Brazil. A shame I've lost my piece of paper because I wrote his name down. He was saying he loves to hear about Britain, how it used to be and what it's like now. It's not only going back to the 50s. Several people have said, what's it like now? I mean, if you live in Brazil, you're not flying over jetting over to the UK every day, or at all, in fact, for some people. A lot of people obviously have never been to the UK, and they only see what they see on the TV or what they read on Twitter. Oh dear, going back to that, there seem to be the two groups on Twitter. They are funny when they clash. What is it? The Ramonas and the Leavers. We won't go into all that. Oh, I saw the Queen's speech at Christmas. That was nice. And when was it? A few years ago. She'd had a horrible year. And what was it? She said, it's been annus horribilis. I think she said annus horribilis. Well, I think this year has been, or last year now rather, has been more annus horribilis. Let's hope 21's better. We had a brilliant summer last year. I mean, the weather, the heat, it was fantastic. But of course, we're all stuck on our own because we were locked down. But let's hope 21's better. I've just remembered who it was that said they wanted longer podcasts. James. Hello, James. Was it from Alabama? Yes. Hi, James. How you doing? Nice to hear from you. Always nice to hear people. Yeah, well, we're 21 minutes, James, now into this, and I'm still rambling, so you never know. Should I do an hour? No, I can't do an hour. Also heard from Jane. Now, where's my bit of paper again? Here we are. I found one of the bits of paper. Jane from the UK. She says, you never talk about politics. Well, I can't do that, Jane, can I? It'd be dreadful. I'd be getting a load of emails saying, yes, you're right, well done. And a load of other emails saying, you're dreadful. Fancy voting for that lot or talking about that lot. So no, don't do politics. What is it they say? Never talk about politics and religion, isn't it? Can't do that. Although I did have an email from Brian. Now, this is Australia. He was mentioning the heat out there. And he said, what did people do in the UK before they had deodorant? I really don't know, Brian. What did people do in Australia before they had deodorant? I suppose they smelled a bit. Yes, I've mentioned Brian's email here because he was talking about being given deodorant for Christmas. And a friend of his friend's mother once gave him a tin of foot spray for Christmas, implying that he had smelly feet. And he's just saying, what did they do before they had deodorant? I don't know. Perhaps they had some other form of Christmas present. Deodorant's not the best present, is it, to give to someone, really? Do you remember the TV adverts? They'd whisper B-O, as in body odour. Do you remember those ads? I like the old TV ads, actually. They were brilliant back in the 60s. They were really good. I don't like the modern ones these days. They all shout. These days, I've actually got a stopwatch on my phone. I downloaded the app the other day, and I've been timing the TV adverts, the breaks for TV adverts. And it goes on in 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And it's almost, I mean, it's not, but it's almost as if the TV advert break is longer than the programme itself. It's ridiculous. Of course, that's where they get their revenue from, isn't it? Their money, so I suppose they have to have adverts. Trouble is, though, now, there's adverts all over Facebook, all over Instagram. Wherever you go, there's adverts in your face. It's too much. In fact, I left Instagram the other day, and it said a list of reasons why are you leaving. And one of the reasons listed was too many ads. So there we are. Okay, I'm going to end the episode here because you'll all be timing me and thinking, oh, how much longer is this? Sorry, James, can't go on. I can't do the hour. I will try. One of these weeks I'll try and waffle on for an hour. Anyway, email me, raysrants@protonmail.com. That's raysrants, all one word, RAYSRANTS, @protonmail.com. I answer all emails, love to hear from you, and perhaps you come up with some ideas because, well over 70 weekly episodes now. I'm running out of ideas. I think I said that a few months ago, but I've been plodding on. So if you've got anything you want me to talk about, or rant about, I should say, let me know. Look, coming up to 25 minutes, James, is that all right? No, it's not. You want another half hour at least. Take care. Happy New Year. Mustn't forget that. Happy New Year. Healthy, prosperous and all that. See you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye for now.